Okay, welcome back. Now we're looking at tidying up this Raspberry Pi enclosure now by putting a base on it, putting a top on it. Maybe we could look at personalizing it. It's up to you really now at this stage. The word is your oyster. Let's look at putting a base onto this here then, okay? The first thing we need to consider is, are we going to have little tabs on the top of this? Okay, in this case I'm going to say yes. I'm assuming that this drawing is pretty much done on the laser cutter at this stage because of how we've interlocked each of these parts together, the thickness, the wall thickness that we used for the material and stuff. So let's do the whole thing on the laser cutter then, if that's the case. So for the top, we have to figure out what the total dimension of the length of that is. Okay, so we can use the inspect tool. We can click on measure and we can click on this surface here. Now it tells us that the perimeter is that, and that's what the area is. Now in terms of what we need, we actually just need to go from this surface here right around to the back surface, and it tells us that the distance is 91 millimeters. Okay, so 91 for the length, and then the width is going to be 62. So 91 by 62. So we're going to go and create a new part that is 91 by 62 for the top. So we go new, say we want a standard part. We're going to click on create and we're going to go to sketch. Again, we use the 2-point center rectangle. We've learned now how easy that makes our life. Yeah, so click on the plane that we're going to draw on and we're going to draw out 91 in height and 62 in width, and we zoom out. Yep, happy enough with that. It's a very basic rectangle. We go extrude, and we're going to say that that's going to be 3 millimeters thick. Now if it was me, I might say, oh well, I don't really want to have a rectangle. Maybe we'll change that sketch. We'll go right click on edit sketch. We'll go to here and say, well, let's do something funky with the top. Let's use a spline tool. Let's not be very geometric in shape here. Let's make it kind of like what kind of a shape, but just something obscure, right? Now we can do that. We can bring that up and drop it down in there, and we can click on the tick to say, yeah, we're happy enough with that kind of shape. Weird and wonderful shape, right? Now when we go to make it 3D, it's going to either select this area or select this area. To be honest with you, the best thing to do is use the trim tool at this stage. So trim will allow you to delete a line between two intersecting points. Right now, in this case, it's not allowing us to do that. I'll explain why in a second. However, to explain what trim does again, between two intersecting points basically means I can draw you like a pencil. You can draw lines, right? By just clicking and dragging. So if I were to draw over this line, it should allow me to delete as it's previewing it. And intersecting points are here, where two lines meet. Okay, so where these two lines meet, that's an intersecting point. Alright, or where these two lines meet. Yeah, because they're two different lines. So the reason it's not allowing us to delete it is because we've got this dimension here, it's driving it. So we delete that and we say, right, now let's try and trim it. And still not letting us do it. My goodness. Okay. Let's get a way around it by pressing escape on the keyboard, clicking on the line and pressing delete. That's worked wonders. 3D model, click on extrude now. Finish the sketch. 3D model. There we go. That's created our 3D image there of the top with a weird and wonderful shape at the very top of it. Now, alternatively, I could go in here and go to edit sketch and say, well, I want to put my name in there because I'm Mr. Fantastic. Click on OK. I might say, right, okay, move that down to, move it down to around about here. I'll click on done. I might say, oh, well, I don't really like that text style or size. So I'll say, right, okay. Highlight it. You can change your text size in here. You can change it to whatever size you want, whatever text style you want. Click on OK. All right. And then you could, there's a whole range of different things that you could do with that. So you could go edit feature, you get it to, sorry, we could put that text into the next slide. So we can go sketch onto here, and we're going to put some text. Sorry, let's backtrack a little bit. So we will delete that text off the middle of there. Right, we'll leave it as a 3D shape. We'll click on sketch and say I want to draw on the surface. I'm going to draw some text down in there. I'm going to call it Mr. Fantastic Pie. Okay, again, change the text size and style to whatever. Something a bit bolder than that, something that you can see. Maybe Arial might be a nice one there. Okay, change the size so it's a little bit bigger. Press OK. Okay. Now you can move it. I just showed you how to move it by clicking on it, selecting a base point, move it wherever you want it to be. Okay, click on finish sketch, and if we go to 3D model, you can then either turn that 3D by clicking on extrude, clicking on that surface, so you can turn the text 3D, or you can get it to cut into it. Like that. Now, here's a nice precaution though, right? So be wary of this if you do decide to do this. The likes of this little island here in the A, this island here in the P, notice when I click on it, it actually doesn't select any of this gray area on the outside that's turning red. And the reason for that is because if that were to laser cut, that would fall away, they would disappear, so would this part, and so would this part. Okay, so be careful with that. Anyway, just getting sidetracked. Let's get back into our assembly and put it all together. So, enclosure assembly. So we need to get some tabs and stuff cut onto there and there and there. That'll be the next video by the looks of it. No, we'll have time. We'll have time. We'll carry on. Right. Okay. Right, let's go and do a sketch onto this surface. We're going to click on here. I want to zoom out a little bit. I'm going to get my green ball down at the bottom, drag it out. This time I'm going to make that, it's still going to be 6 there, and it's going to be 35 on that surface there, just because it's a nice number, for no other reason than that. I'm going to do the same thing here. This time I'm going to say that that is 60 by 6 for no other reason than they're nice numbers, but you can use as many of those as you like. I am just making this up on the spot. Alright, now 3D model, extrude. So as many of these as you like, it's up to you. You're the designer at this stage. Realistically, you can make it look like whatever you want to make it look like. You can have as many little tabs cut into it as you like. Have it joining any way you like. Okay, so that's roughly how my one's going to look at the top. I'm going to click on save. I'm going to save that as top and click on save. For your design, you'll want to maybe have a bigger opening here to allow more air in to circulate around. Okay, so you should be considering that in terms of your design. But for this, just going to keep going, keep doing what we're doing. Okay, so the long side is the side which the HDMI is on, so I'm going to click on there. I'm going to click on center rectangle, click on this surface, move my ball up to the top until I get a green ball, drag it out. That should be 60 wide by 6. So in that case, I've cut out material from the other one, so I need to use a 2-point rectangle, clicking on this surface up until I get to that top corner there and click. Do the same thing down here until I get to the top corner there and click. Delete the rectangle in the middle. Delete these 2 lines. 3D model, extrude. And I'm going to extrude cut. And press OK. Save. Next part, HDMI side. Exact same drawing. So again, using the 2-point center rectangle, I'm drawing on this surface. Move it right to the top until I get a green ball. Drag it out. 60 millimeters wide by 6 deep. Press enter. Use the 2-point rectangle from the bottom corner to the top corner. Click. Again, bottom corner to the top corner and click. Press escape, delete the rectangle in the middle. We only use that as a reference. Okay, use the 3D model tool, extrude, cut, cut, and go through. There we go. Now, into the side, we're going to use the 2-point center rectangle, drawing on this surface, move it up to the top, click and drag it out. I believe it was 35 by 6, and I will double check by going to the top, going to, yeah, 35 was correct. So I need to go back to, not that drawing, sorry, this one. This time doing exactly the same thing as we've done with the last ones. Rectangle up to there, rectangle up to there, press escape, delete those there, finish, save, 3D model, extrude, cut away that material in that direction, press save, get into the USB side now, and we're almost there. Once we have this done, the video will end and we'll get into assembling the top and base, and we should also be able to get into the drawing of the working drawing. So 35 wide by 6, 2-point rectangle. Oh, I'm going to have a major problem with this one. You should already figure this out from our previous discussions. Okay. Delete this rectangle here. Delete that. And that. 3D model, extrude. Extrude, cut that and that. Cutting through. Okay. Now you see what the problem's going to be there. Well, it's not so much a problem, but it's not ideal. Looking at our enclosure, we've got that updated onto there.